I just reviewed one of my coaching client sales calls where he lost a sale because he didn't actually understand the prospect and what they truly wanted. So in today's call, I'll be sharing with you how to actually understand what the prospect really wants, not just what they say they want. Now, this is something that took me thousands of sales calls and spending over $50,000 in sales training myself, but I'm gonna teach you the exact questions that you need to know and you need to use on your sales calls to get to prospects' true motivations. And if you make this one shift alone, I promise you, your sales will double in just 1 month. So let's go ahead and let's dive in.
Okay, like what's the first thing you notice about this guy, this situation?
He don't speak English, right?
Well, it's like he seems younger,
Yeah.
just in general, but like what's his like living situation like right off the bat?
Like third world.
Well, it's not like third world, but like he seems like he's in a studio, which is fine. So
Oh.
it's like I'm just like making that like just thought
Oh.
process in my mind, right? Like, dude, when I first moved to like Miami Beach, like I literally had a studio this size.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like he has the door open and he has the window AC unit, which again, I had the window AC unit when I first moved to Miami. You get what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, young, probably not that much money. Okay. So there probably needs to be a lot of leadership on our end.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be real, like this guy, he said he owned his own contracting business for like flooring and he made 20K per month in revenue. And then he was taking home 10. No, he was like the profit was 10, but he put half of that into a business account just for the business. And then he takes home 5K for like
Yeah.
his personal shit.
So. Yeah. So, and it might also be a mentality thing, right?
Yeah.
Like living very, bare bones, right? So it's like that. I'm just making a profile in my mind of like the type of person where to take this conversation.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
The way I like to run these calls is for me to just get a better understanding of what you're currently up to. Ultimately, where you're looking to go. Just based off my understanding of that, if I feel like with 100% certainty that what we're doing,
Can you put it on 1.5 because I have another call to review.
I may send you an invite to join.
Okay.
For whatever reason, if I feel like we're not the right team for you, I'll do my best, point you in the right direction, send you some resources, take care of you. Sound good?
Yep, no worries.
But do you see where your energy's at right there?
Low.
Yeah. Just like you're like kind of like methodically like going through it.
Yeah, this is my last call of the day.
Yeah. So it's like if you know it's like your last call of the day, just like, okay, what can you do to just like show up the way you need to show up? Because does this person deserve less of you than all the other calls you had that day?
Nah.
Right. So when you're talking about like, okay, like you're not able to connect, like on some level, we don't show up with the same energy we have with somebody who we are able to connect with, like then that's just on us. And that's really what it comes down to. So just making sure you are showing up with the energy that you need to show up with, just for anybody.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're gonna be a leader, we're gonna help them, especially like a young guy like this, immediately. That's where my thought process goes. Okay. And this is just after, selling tons of young people like yourself. You know what I mean? Like there needs to be like a lot of leadership there, typically. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Sweet, man. And I know we're receiving back and forth on iMessage.
Mhm.
And I also took a look at your application, but I don't like to do too much about those. Did you ever get a chance to watch those videos by Richard that I sent over?
Yeah, I did watch it the day it was last week, Friday.
Okay. Sweet. And based off of those videos, man, like what do you feel like is the ultimate outcome that you're looking to accomplish by starting it?
And something you can do. Now, this is more for you, but also it can be for them as well, is you can add in a bit of humor to just like get yourself laughing, get them laughing. Again, if you notice like it helps you like, hey, did you get bored to death over there watching those videos? Just like that stupid joke like that, like you're actually like in the conversation, right? Like right now, just from the very beginning, it just seems like you're more going through the motions of like, okay, this is what I have to do.
Fuck.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So it's just being able to like, if you notice like, hey, I'm just going through the motions, like do something to like break not only his pattern, but your pattern too, and be in the conversation.
Okay.
All right.
In online business.
So like, what do you mean outcome on, like
What are you ultimately looking to achieve?
So what pretty much I want to achieve is like what I see nowadays, like everybody is online making some different incomes, looking at different spots. So I was really looking around like what can kind of fit me. Like I've never been into like anything online or anything like that. So I was trying to see what can help me out, like at least to start something, because I know that nowadays, like, the internet and all the social media is very powerful. Like, many people are just like, making their money out of being online and stuff like that. So I mean, I just wanted to try see how it goes, like get some information, see what's it all about.
Yeah, so then for you, why look at getting into social media to make money as opposed to like just working your same job right now, like doubling down on that?
So the reality is, I don't think uh, it's the same as working from a computer or from from home or for wherever you are located at the moment, like working online as physically as me. Like I have a current job that is physical, so it's hard work. Like I said, I do make money. I understand that, but at the same time, it is very physical, and I just don't see myself like doing it for many years, and because it's very physical.
Yeah, like when you say physical, like in what way?
Because it's hard work, it's labor.
Okay,
So
good.
Okay.
yeah, so it's very intense.
Now, something that he said was very interesting. Okay. He said everyone's making money online. So, like, what is he doing? He's comparing himself.
Yeah.
So it's like on some level, he's inferring that he feels less than because he has to do like he has to do manual labor. You know what
I
I'm
got him to
saying?
expand on that later in the call and
Yeah.
like what he meant by that. And he said like he went to a coffee shop recently and he
Hmm.
saw like people chatting to their friends about like they're just
Mm-hmm.
making like thousands of dollars in the coffee shop just working on their laptop.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then it's like really cutting to the root of that. It's like, well, hearing that, dude, knowing you're working your ass off to make your money, like, how does that make you feel?
Damn, that's the question.
Do you feel like these people are smarter than you are? Do you feel like they're harder working? No. Right? So how does it feel knowing people who aren't smarter than you, they don't work harder than you, they're making more money than you, doing less work. So it's like it's kind of like it's like, fuck, dude, I'm behind.
Yeah.
That if we can tap into that emotion, like that's gonna get this guy to move. So especially very early on in the conversation, we have to pay attention to their language of how do they describe things,
Huh.
right? Everyone online is making money. Well, first of all, no, they're not. But like that's how he perceives it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's
Yeah.
like in his mind, everyone is making money and he's the odd man out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cause that's interesting that you picked up on that because what I picked up on was physical labor
Yeah.
and then in
Well,
my
it's like it's
head like
both.
yeah.
So it's like the physical part, okay, but it's like also like everyone's making money online. That's an interesting thing for somebody to say
Interesting.
because like statistically, that's just not the case. I know we make money online, but it's like most people, like they don't make money online. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, everyone's making money online. Like, why? Like, first of all, like, why does he think that? Number one, and why? Like, he kind of saying it like, there's not like resentment in his voice, but it's kind of like he's missing out. Like there's FOMO. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like because he's young, physical, like obviously that's going to be a pain point. It's good. You're diving into it now, but like we need to make sure we get the like, well, everyone's making money online. He's not.
Mhm.
Okay.
And so my body gets get very tired. It's not like I'm in the office and just like sitting around or
Mhm.
something. Just like I'm going up and down there
Yeah.
like since I wake up till the end of my job. So
Okay, no, that makes sense. What do you actually do for work? Just so we're on the same page.
I do flooring. I do flooring. I install
Okay.
floors. So it's kind of hard. So I don't have a schedule. So basically,
Yeah.
I start in the house, and then once I finish, I go home. So I don't have like an end point. So that's why it's kind of
Yeah.
complicated to getting into the Zoom meetings because
Mhm.
you got to see which job is small, so that way I can
Yeah.
know I'm gonna be home.
Yeah, plan around it. Okay. And how long you been doing the phone for?
So I've been doing it like well not I started at a young age. So I was around
Yeah.
like 17, 18 when I started.
Okay.
I used to do it with my uncle, and then I turned around and started doing it on my own. So then I
Okay.
proceeded from there. So
Okay. And for you, like, I guess besides like the physicalness of the job, what's coming up for you just with the flooring right now that makes you feel like I don't know, it's just not quite enough for you?
it's not that it's not quite enough. It's just that I feel like uh I don't want time to pass by and just stay around. I just want to look out for something different. Like
Oh, okay.
I'm happy if I could have another income that would be great. Like to have something on the side. And I mean, if it was doing it online, it would be good. Like something on the side. It's not like I'm saying I don't like my job or anything. I do love
Yeah.
it. But at one
Yeah.
point, it gets very physical. So that's why my
Yeah.
body gets tired. So something like that.
Okay. And is your body like tired all the time, or like there's specific times where it actually gets more tired?
Well, not really. It's like I can't really tell because it's like
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like right now we're digging, but we didn't really get like the main pain point out.
What was the main pain point?
So it's like at this point, where my mind goes like immediately is like, okay, like because he said like it would be nice. Like that's what's like coming up. Like, oh, like it'd be nice to like make that type of income, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, but like why do something like online rather than like just maybe like a different type of thing that's not so physical? Right. Like I need to get him to like we haven't quite got it yet. Like we have hints of it, but then like we just go back into the physical.
That's what this entire call was around. I just built it
Yeah.
around physical.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, and it's not that like, okay, it being physical is a bad thing. Or it's not that like going into the pain point of him, like him having a physical job is a bad thing because I'm sure there is pain around there. Okay. But if I'm just thinking, right? If this guy was like
Mhm.
20 years older, probably be more of a pain point,
Yeah.
right? Just naturally. Okay. Like this is like using my deductive reasoning. Um, but like he's younger and he's like, I feel like I can do something different. Why? Like that's what I need to know. Like why look for something online rather than just, trying to expand like your physical business you're doing. Just like bring it back.
I thought that was, I just thought all of that entire thing that you said, like everyone's making money online. That was just more interesting. Of
Yeah.
like, oh, everyone's making money online. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's like, well, everyone's making, well, it's like the way he's describing it, well, everyone's making money online. It gives you insight into his worldview and what's important to him.
Oh, okay.
You get what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like I would just want to understand that more because like that's what you're gonna help him do. Like make money online, right? It's a biz op. So in his mind, well, what do you mean you see everyone making money online? And some people are fine like seeing something and then not being a part of it. Why would you want to be a part of it? Making money online, right?
Hmm.
Just like dig deeper. Like what's actually going on there? Like let's pull back the layers. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's just like I've never thought about it like that. Like everyone else is making money online. So like, well, some people are totally
He,
fine. Just saying,
he feels
same with
left out.
pathway in my head. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like what is motivating this person? What are the needs? What are the desires that he doesn't feel like are being met, him having to work
Yeah.
this job? That's what I'm trying to understand. And until
Yeah.
like I get that, it's going to take some probing. Like right now we have a little bit of an inkling into it of what it might be. We don't know unless we ask, but it's just about actually asking the questions to understand what are the needs that are being met by this person that should be met, that's why he's on the call. There is a need
Yeah.
that isn't being met to the degree. Now, it could be for him, like I would assume, like this is where my mind goes immediately. Okay, because it sounds like he's working a job, okay, that makes okay money or good money, whatever it is. So there it doesn't seem like there's a lack of certainty in his life as far as making money, right? So what's probably the next best guess? If we look at like the six human needs.
Uh, variety.
Probably.
Yeah.
Right now, we don't know unless we ask.
Hmm.
I would just ask, like, hey, well, what's the main reason you'd be looking to maybe make more money like online rather than just continue to do, more of the physical jobs? Besides, like maybe in a be it physicals, like you dove into the physical, like, and it's like again, he was downplaying it, and like, yes, he might just be trying to minimize it, but I would see if I can't flush it out to like, okay, but besides it being physical, what's the main reason you'd be wanting to make money online rather than just, continue to do like what you're doing?
Hmm. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then I need to pull out a need.
Yeah.
My guess, it's variety. That's my guess. I could be wrong.
Mm.
It could also be like love and connection. Like he's out working all the time. He's working so many hours, and like he can't be around his family. Like who knows?
Yeah.
Could be
Huh.
significance. Like it could be
None of
any.
that was like
In
touched on in this call. It was just
yeah.
all I built it all around future pain of him being 30 and then
How old is he?
24, 23.
It's like, bro, if I tell you right now, like what, you're 17. If I tell you right now, dude, you're gonna have this huge pain when you're 30 years old. Like, can you even conceptualize you being 30 right now?
Not really.
Like, dude, you've been conscious for 10 years. You get what I'm saying? You don't like you don't even have the fucking time. Like, you're like, I'm telling you, like, hey, in like 10 more years, which is your entire conscious life right now, you're gonna face pain. And you're like, you know what? That doesn't seem that bad. So, especially like when we're talking about like young people, like what drives young people? Like, again, put yourself in this guy's shoes. Like, what drives you for more? What drives you to do the things you do, to put in the work, to invest in yourself?
Future pain?
Well, it's like, again, like what, like let's say you make more money in sales. Like, what's the biggest payoff for you? Like, we've talked about it
Uh,
before.
yeah. Like like
You
moving up north.
move, right? Like, you get a different experience than what you're
Okay.
currently in,
Yeah.
right? Like, I
Variety.
want something different. I don't like my current situation where it's at. I think I
Damn.
You get what I mean? So it's like we need
This
to
is
tap into that.
crazy. How you watch like 7 minutes of the call and like you already know that I fucked up the entire thing.
Well, that's what it comes down to, right? Like, and it's just being able to notice these patterns in people. So it's like a younger guy like this, like if you talk about like, hey, bro, when you're 30, you might be running into some issues. It's like,
I don't give a fuck.
yeah. It's like, yeah, like, okay, maybe other some people can we sell like that? Like, yes. But are we going to be able to sell like a good majority of like younger people doing that? Like, no, because it's not real in their mind. Like, I can tell you right now, like, I'm 27. I can barely conceptualize 30.
Yeah.
And I'm old as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, you gotta like, okay, what's important for this person?
Mhm.
And if he would have like maybe described like it being physical differently, like he had put some more gusto behind it, or you could see a little bit of cracks in how he described it, then it's like we'd be having a different conversation. So it's just about like
Oh, it's just the
understanding.
way he described it. Because I just thought he was
Yeah.
minimizing. So I was like, oh, let me dig deeper. But I dug
Yeah.
deeper on the wrong thing.
Well, it's like then you also have to understand like what's more likely to be true. Okay.
Mhm.
On some of this, like there has to be some level of like pattern recognition of like if somebody's young and healthy, can they work a physical job? And really like, yes, it kind of sucks, but like, are they going to completely uproot and do something differently?
Mhm.
The fact of it being physical. Now, it could be like if we go down the route of like, well, how long are you actually working? Like working long hours, him being stuck in one location. Now, again, we don't know, but we didn't really get like a problem that he's talking about or like I can hear is enough of a problem to actually dig on. So if we're starting
Yeah.
to dig on this, and it's like we're not on the right point.
Is that just understanding people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So it's like just let's uh let's just take a listen back, right? So I do
I do
flooring.
flooring. I
Oh,
install floors, so it's kind of hard. So I don't have a schedule. So basically,
yeah.
I start in the house, and then once I finish, I go home. So I don't have a like an end point. So that's why it's kind of
Yeah.
complicated to getting into the Zoom meetings because
Mhm.
you got to see which job is small, so that way
Okay.
I can
Yeah.
know I'm gonna be home.
Yeah. Plan around it. Okay. And how long you been doing the phone for?
So I've been
Okay.
doing it.
Do right
Proceeded
here.
from there. So
Okay. And for you, like, I guess besides like the physicalness of the job, what's coming up for you just, with the flooring right now that makes you feel like, I don't know, it's just not quite enough for you?
it's not that it's not quite enough. It's just that I feel like uh I don't want time to pass by and just stay around. I just want to look out for something different. Like
Oh,
I'm
okay.
happy if I could have.
Variety right there.
I just want something different. Pass by.
Oh,
Again,
man.
like then now that gives us
Left
more insight.
behind.
Like everyone else is doing it.
Fuck.
So it's just about listening to like you
That's
get what I'm
good.
saying?
That's
Like
good.
he's just like, oh, I want something different. Well, hey, like what's the biggest reason you'd be looking for something different rather than just continue to do the job you're doing, dude? Right? Just like non-assuming, like, hey, what's going on? Why do something different?
I
Okay.
think I asked something similar to that, and he just said, I don't see myself doing this till I'm 30.
Why not?
Cause I have a friend who's 30, and
Uh-huh.
his like body is, I don't know if he mentioned body or something, but he
Yeah.
said that he had a friend who was doing it when he's 30, and
Uh-huh.
he has stuff that he doesn't want.
Well, what does
But
he
I
have
think
that you
even
don't
there,
want?
yeah, I think he might have mentioned variety.
What does he have that you don't want?
Yeah, the lack of variety, I'm pretty sure is something he mentioned there. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like
Oh my
and again, like
God.
that's why I'm breaking like I try to break it down and it's like, okay, if I just understand like what needs, like what are the needs that this guy isn't
Hmm.
being met? I don't know why my keyboards decides just not to work right now, but what needs are not being met right now from this guy? Okay. So if we just understand what are the actual like needs, and then if we understand like what needs aren't being met, like out of this, right? Certainty, variety, significance, love, connection, growth, um, contribution. Now, typically you'll have a couple different needs, but it's
Yeah.
like, okay, he has stable income. So it kind of can cross one off. Variety is a significance. It could also be growth. We don't
Yeah.
know unless we ask. But it's like it sounds like just from like his language and what he's choosing to focus on, that is variety. And if we're not on his actual needs, like what he cares about, then it's like then we're not gonna be able to connect with him.
Yeah, we don't even need to watch the rest of this, to be honest. Like, that's it right there. Like, that's my team close. Because I
Okay.
wasn't on the right shit. Even a
Yeah.
consequence, like that was a consequence of, hey, bro, like your body's break, like you continue doing this physical, it's just not it.
Yeah. So you just gotta like notice like what they highlight. Because if he says like this person doesn't have uh he doesn't have like he has things that I don't want or something like that. And then you ask him like, well, what does he have? Well, his body's broken down, blah, 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 blah. If he would have told you that, it's like, okay, now it makes more sense.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Because like we didn't ask the question, but what do you think he probably would have said at that point?
To which question?
Like, hey, what does he have that you don't want?
He doesn't have like the ability to travel, is I think what he mentioned.
So you get what I mean? Like, oh, like what do you mean
Yeah.
he doesn't have the ability to travel? Can you not travel at the moment? Cooked. So it's like, so you got to think about, okay, just like for this person, okay. So you're talking about like somebody like working, and this is just understanding your prospect,
Yeah.
okay? Like somebody who's working a job, a physical location job, okay? Now, there are some like especially for biz op, the two biggest problems you're gonna run into is like certainty. Like they're not making enough to pay bills, big expense coming up. Okay, another big one is gonna be variety. Typically,
Yeah.
those are gonna be the two biggest ones. So it's like at the very beginning of the conversation, I'm just sitting back and I'm listening, like which one is it of those two? Now, it might be a different one, but most likely, like 90% of the conversations you're gonna have are gonna be one of those.
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty safe to assume. Like with a biz op, like them making more money, them having more time. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like for him, he, like, again, what did he choose to highlight? More
Variety.
things when it comes to variety. So then I
Okay.
need to then position my questions to talk about his lack of variety right now. Because if he's working a job where he has to be there every single day, he's trading his hour, he's trading his time for money, then he can't travel. Okay. If he doesn't work, he doesn't get paid. Period.
Mhm.
Okay. He has to be in a certain location to do that. So he can't go work somewhere else. He has to work here. Right. So, and again, there might be other lifestyle factors that he doesn't like about like having to be like in person. But especially if he's seeing other people just like be able to make money from a fucking coffee shop, like how do you think he feels that he has to go in, like install flooring to make his money?
Yeah, it feels like shit when he has to go in.
Yeah. So a big thing as far as his pain, I would see is his like comparing, like he's comparing himself to others,
Hmm.
right? And he feels like he's falling short. That's one key
Yeah.
thing. And the other key
Mhm.
thing from what I'm hearing is just a lack of variety, being able to do different things with his life. If you're able to tap into those two, then it's like dude's fucking cooked.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
All right. Does that help?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
For
cool.
the next one I just sent in the chat. Um, that's there's three calls in the one because I forgot to take my Fathom out of the waiting room.
No worries.
So yeah, the transcript and timing might be fucked. But let's
Yeah.
just focus on the first one. So it's the first one like this Anna girl. Um,
Okay.
fuck, she was. I did an hour of objection handling. I could not get her across the line.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at problem because that's probably where the uproot
Hey,
issue
Anna, you can
is,
join
and
the breakout so we
then
can start your call.
let's
Yep.
take a look at solution awareness of the limiting beliefs, and then let's go to objection handling.
Okay,
Can you hear
cool.
me?
Yeah, I'm just gonna put my video
Yeah.
on.
No worries.
Hi.
Hi, you live in the dream over there? Still working on it.
I'm sorry?
You live in the dream over there? Still working on it.
Oh my God, still working on. I mean, like, I'm living like some of kind like my dream life right now, but I need to
Okay.
like
Yeah.
digital on it. And I just want
Okay.
to start by saying that English is my second language. Okay, so
It's
maybe I
okay.
have
It's okay.
and
I'll
and
slow down. Yeah.
yeah. No problem.
So anything when somebody tells you like English is their second language, instead of like you like reassuring them like, hey, I'm gonna go slow for you, do kind of the opposite. Be like, oh no, your English is really great. Why?
Why is
I want
that?
to give them confidence in order to be open. Because like
Oh.
if I'm self-conscious about how I speak, the likelihood that I'm gonna be more open is just lower.
Oh, okay.
So if they're like,
Understood.
oh, like English is my second language, it's like, oh, I would have never guessed it. Like your English is really good. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Right. And it's like you give them a bit of a compliment and then you give them reassurance that their English is good. And then they're more likely going to be open.
Hmm.
Okay. Little trick I
Okay.
got from talking to foreign
Yeah.
girls. right? Living in Miami. But it's like it's totally true. Okay, it's like
Yeah.
you want to go ahead, you want to give them the reassurance of like, oh no, your English is really good. And so that way they're more likely to be open. So they're not self-conscious about how they try to express themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a little thing you can do. It's not the end of the world if you don't do it. All right. But it's just like those little things definitely add up.
It's more me.
Okay. Okay. No worries. You got a pen, notepad, anything you can take
You see, it's like it's more me. She's self-conscious about how she sounds.
notes with as we go through.
Yeah, no, I have everything.
Okay, sweet. Typically, the purpose of this call is for me to just find out what you're currently up to. Ultimately, we're looking to take things. Then, if I feel like with 100% certainty, what Richard is doing over here would 100% benefit you, I may extend you an invite to join. For whatever reason, if I feel like we're just not the right team for you, okay, I feel like there might be better fits, I'll do my best to point you in the right direction, let you know, all that good stuff. Sound good?
Yeah, sure thing.
Now I know they're making you do the agenda, right? And it's like you don't want to do the agenda, but at least, like I said, like as far as like the energy, when you first open up the call, energy was good, but then when you say the agenda, you're like, it's like you're pulling fucking teeth. Like I understand you don't want to use an agenda. I don't like using agendas either, but like for this new, role, like they're having you use an agenda, at least like,
Get into it.
like at least be like, oh, like at least say it how you would say anything else, right? Just little things like that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, sweet. And I know we're texting a bit back and forth on iMessage, right? Or
Yeah.
was it WhatsApp? Okay. Yeah.
It
This is
was
one thing.
WhatsApp.
Sorry,
I'm
just really
sorry. It was
quickly.
WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is one thing, and I think it's like I'm getting to my head about how I'm coming across on the calls. But am I too leaned in here to where when I get to future pacing, I can't lean in anymore?
No, you're fine.
Well,
Okay.
Right? Like, again, if you want to do it, like, as far as like you shifting your body language, like all you got to do is if like you're shifting it before, it's like shift back, then before like you lean in again. It's really the shift in body language that matters
Okay.
the most.
Yeah.
Don't be too in your head about it. The
Yeah.
problem is if you're too in your head, if you're too worried about what they think about you, then it's like our movements become a bit mechanical in a sense.
Yeah.
And we never want to fall into that trap because like then we seem weird. They're like, what is this
Yeah.
dude doing? Right. Um, and if you are self-conscious and it comes across a little bit, you are self-conscious, it's going to cut to your credibility and your authority and your confidence,
Yeah.
which again, they're like, he's probably like, and this is something that's always going to be subconscious. But if you're coming across like you're unconfident, they're like, oh, he's probably unconfident because people don't react to him well. So I'm not going to react well either.
The weight of tribe. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
today.
Okay. Did you ever get a chance to go through those videos I shot over, right, Richard?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. And from those, like, what were your biggest takeaways so far?
Oh my God, there was a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
this was like a long video and I was trying to like take everything, but I feel like the first thing that and I thought was like really important is the factor of like having a mentor.
Okay.
I feel like Richard is talking a lot about this and I completely agree. I mean, even in my current job, like this is super important to me to have
Yeah.
one. Well, one or two or
Yeah.
three.
Okay.
So I feel like this is like why I wanted to learn more about this. And also I found that like interesting the thing of like the old ways and the new way and like
Yeah.
just to be honest, I'm young, yes, but I'm
Dude, she soaked up the propaganda.
Yeah.
It's fucking lay down city right now.
And I still missed. Fuck.
You see, like she's so bought into like the propaganda. So it's like it's lay down city.
a grandma in the
Yeah.
field of like
Okay.
digital stuff.
A
And so
veteran. I love that.
I really need to learn more, you know. And
Yeah.
I
But
feel
now
like
like your energy is better, you're like you're kind of like laughing and like you're connecting and all this good stuff. So your energy is better on this call. We just got to make sure like your energy is relatively similar on every single call.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I mean. Like half the calls
the
will go like the Marco guy. Half these calls are like my energy will be up and it's like this girl. No, I still missed, but yeah.
Yeah. It happens. We can't close everyone, but dude, she fucking soaked up the propaganda. Like I hear that stuff, I'm like licking my chops.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Let's fucking go.
platform, what's the name? When like Richard and I talked on it.
Was it Instagram or?
No. It was on
Speed it up a little bit.
Rachel platform, school, like
Oh,
Rachel,
school. Yeah, school.
Rachel Jova, something like that.
Yeah, we
So
get a lot of people from there. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I bought like her courses and I found it really interesting because, like I said, I'm such a grandma, but I have like project of like diverse like digital project that I want to try. And I don't know if you read like my kind of
Yeah.
little.
I took a brief look at your application. I don't
Yeah.
like to assume too much about those. I'd rather hear it from your words.
Yeah, well, that's fine. But yeah, so I'm like I've worked like a lot in the social field for the Red Cross, Canadian Red Cross. Now I'm the CEO of an organization for.
So it's like just a way that we frame this. And it's something small, but it's something I'm always very careful of at the very beginning of the conversation. She's like, where were we at?
I took a brief look at your application. I don't like to assume too much about those. I'd rather hear it from your words.
Yeah.
Like I took a brief look at it, but I don't want to look too like you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I kind of looked at it, but not really, because I don't want to assume. Like that's what you're saying. Okay. If I sent you over like a detailed application and you're like, and I'm like,
look at it.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, yeah, and I definitely took a look at that, and it's like really good information, but you know how things can get lost in translation. So, and then you go into it. Yeah, and I definitely took a look at it. Really great information, but you know how things can get lost in translation, which is just a truism. It's very hard for them to disagree. So rather than I took a brief look and I don't want to assume, now it's about me. I took a good look, good information, but things get lost in translation.
But things get lost in translation. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is naturally what happens with anything. Like, I don't know anybody who doesn't agree with. Obviously, things get lost in translation. Okay. So then at that point, I just want to then move it to where I need to get it to. Right. Because like right now, like the biggest thing that I'm seeing from this person in particular, like she's very open, which is great. She's very open. She took over like the propaganda, but she is very talkative.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the downsides if I don't rein in her, her chattiness? Is she's going to be more scattered. Her thought process is going to be more scattered. So when we get to the end, she doesn't have the focus to make a decisive decision. So what are we going to get at the end? It sounds great, but I need to think about it. Is that what we got at the end?
That's exactly what happened.
Right? So it's like I need to just rein her in like immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like and if you that one I did with that really chatty lady who like the insurance sales one. Right? If you take a look, that's exactly what it like anytime, like especially when you get like just naturally, like you get a woman who's more open and she's like, a little bit like just, kind of like up in the air, like a little bit woo-woo just in general. Like, okay, I just need to rein them in and bring them to reality. That's what I have to do in this conversation. Okay. I need to know exactly what type of help they're looking for, what it does for them, but I need to make it as concrete as possible. And I need to start to rein in their thinking. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So right here, she's like, oh, did you take a look at the applications? Like, oh yeah, like I definitely did really good information. But you know how things can get lost in translation. So I'm a bit curious. What's the next question that you should be asking right now? Like in the process I have that you following.
What's your overarching outcome?
Yeah, like what's your overarching goal you're looking to achieve with starting your own online business? Okay. Because it's like going into her background as far as like, because I see here in the transcript, like Red Cross and different things along those lines. It's not like it's bad, but is it productive? Right. So it's like, it's interesting information. It's not important information. So once I start to like, and let's say like, hey, we didn't see this coming. It's fine. We weren't able to read that at the beginning. And then like as soon as like she starts going into that, we're like, oh yeah, of course. And we'll definitely cover a lot more about your background. But just so I don't miss any important information, I'm really curious about this. Boom, right on point. Right. So it's like, oh, like and you do it, it's like, oh yeah, we'll definitely cover all that. But just so again, like I can best help you and like I have the best direction, to help you best, like boom. Right. We make it in their best interest and we ask about them. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Arbitrage. I'll say this.
Arbitrage. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So and I find it like interesting, but I feel like I have a lot of digital project that I feel like could really help people, and also I have like an idea of like online courses to help like other social organizations. So I feel like maybe this is a good idea. I don't know if like I can combine both, or maybe I could like concentrate myself more of like my own stuff. I don't know. Quick tips on it.
Yeah. Typically, like if I can make a suggestion.
Yeah.
Most people.
Yeah, and then you see like she's already kind of scattered in her thinking. She's already said like, I don't know. Right. So it's like, I need to help give her clarity. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. People just for the first couple months as they're getting into it, just because they don't have the experience it takes to create a super compelling offer that can convert
Yeah.
cold traffic.
Yeah.
So these are people who don't know, like, or trust you on the internet. They'll go ahead and they'll start with digital arbitrage. Once they start making 5, 10K a month with that, then they'll go ahead and transition into a digital product themselves, where they
Okay.
make one. Is that something you're open to?
Yeah, sure. I don't
Okay.
have much of an Instagram going
It's
on.
okay. Most people come to us, they don't have any.
Yeah, exactly. But I want to
Yeah.
learn, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And for you, like, because we're looking to ultimately just dedicate more time towards the nonprofit. So what makes you feel like, I don't know, like you just don't have as much time as you really need to dedicate towards it?
Well, right now, like I have a job like that I needed to really, like I said, help like to grow up financially in all like organizational
Yeah. Yeah.
part. And so I did it. My mentor is like already done there. So like I wanted to just like put more time into my other project,
Okay.
and for that I needed but I needed more time, so I wanted to earn more money somewhere else. And I feel like all this is all related to all the project that I want to start. So it's like,
Right.
it's like not like I want to do this and on the next part I want to do this, more like all related. So, yeah.
Okay. Because how long have you been like wanting to create more time and more freedom when it comes to the actual like humanitarian part?
Yeah, I feel like
Did we find out like what she does for work?
I found that out like I think like 3 or so minutes later, but like I had to clarify because I was so confused. Apparently she does like a social work as her 9 to 5, and then she also has
9 to 5, and then
own-
she has like a nonprofit.
Yeah,
It sounds
exactly.
like. Okay.
Yeah.
So nonprofit that she wants to put more time into, but obviously like nonprofits tend not to pay very well.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like she wants more time to go ahead and like do more of like her nonprofit. That's the biggest thing. So it's like, okay, I would assume when somebody starts talking about nonprofit, like the two biggest, like let's talk about needs. Like what needs is she looking to meet? Just like
Contribution.
probably contribution, or another big one when it comes to nonprofits would be significance. Like they make a difference, right? Like they're part of a bigger thing. So but those are like, that's where my mind goes immediately. I'm not saying like that's exactly what's going to be it for her, but like if she's talking about a nonprofit like it is right now, but she's not able to put that enough time in, then it's like her lack of contribution, her being stuck doing something she doesn't want to do. That's probably where the pain is. All right. So that's where I want to start to take the conversation. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like I want to get there as quick as possible.
And I did hit that point, I think, eventually, with like, how does it feel like not spending as much time as you could be, not having the amount of impact you should be? But she was already doing social work, so I felt like it didn't really land. But
Let's listen. Let's listen.
Yeah.
It's been like maybe a year only because this humanitarian part is like really in demand right now, and I have a lot of investors that want to invest in it, and so I need to have more time to create it and to
And are you doing the nonprofit full time, or do you have like another job?
No, this is full time. This is right now. But like I said, my contract maybe is gonna end soon, so I'm gonna have like a lot more time to dedicate. Yeah.
Okay. Because how long have you been doing the nonprofit for?
It's gonna be like 2 years soon.
Oh, okay. So what shifted more recently where it's like, okay, I actually want to, look into digital arbitrage to get more time?
It's only because like in like my different project, I wanted to learn more about like, first of all, like rayonnement, how I say this in English. Well, how to use Instagram and other platform, Facebook, to like just grow the visibility. And so that was my first wish. I wanted to learn more about digital platform and everything. And after that, I learned more about digital product and like how like personal branding, for example, and like how.
What does she mean by grow liquidity? I assume it's just more money, right? She said it like just 1 second ago. Okay. She's like, oh, I'm looking to like grow liquidity.
Okay. And for you, like, because we're looking to ultimately just dedicate more time towards the nonprofit. So what makes you feel like, I don't know, like you just don't have as much time as you really need to dedicate towards it?
Well, right now,
like fucking
like
Fathom always gets me, bro.
Okay. Because how long have you been? I know you're doing the nonprofit.
Okay, here we go.
Because how long have you been doing the nonprofit? Oh, okay. So what shifted more recently where it's like, okay, I actually want to, look into digital arbitrage to get more time?
It's only because like in like my different project, I wanted to learn more about like, first of all, like rayonnement, how I say this in English. Well, how to use Instagram and other platform, Facebook, to like just grow the visibility. And so
like right there. What does that mean? Okay, so it's like she wants it to, I assume, make more money. But why? I'd want to like clarify, well, what do you mean by like grow like liquidity? Right? I don't know what she means by that. It's kind of like a vague term. Does she just mean like she wants to grow the nonprofit? Is she talking more about like a side income to really fuel the nonprofit? Like what does she mean by grow liquidity? And what makes it feel like just the liquidity she has right now in the business just isn't quite enough for her to really grow the way she's wanting to or make the impact that she's really looking to make?
At that point, is that more of an improvement offer?
I would say no. It's still at this point because she's saying like a side income to supplement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's still a new thing. But it's like, what does that money do? Like, what does that money buy her? What does she not have that money would help her with? Like, that's what I'm really trying to understand. Okay. Because you're selling money, but it's like, but you're also selling what that money buys for this person specifically. So I need to understand what they are actually buying. Like, what does money buy them that they can't buy now? What is the problem of them not having the money? What is the problem of them not having the liquidity? That's what I need to know. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was my first wish. I wanted
Yeah.
to learn more about digital platform and everything. And after that, I learned more about digital product and like how like personal branding, for example, and like how that can right now and for the future affect like
Yeah.
terribly like
Okay.
the connection between people and how I can like have more views of the organization so it can like grow. So I feel like this all started there, and now like learning more, I had like other like digital project that I wanted to add in the platform for helping others, and I feel like this is all combined in one thing of like learning.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So then for you, like, do you mind if I ask you like a bit of a personal question?
go ahead.
Yeah, because like you not being able to spend as much time as you really like to just on the
We don't
actual
have-
nonprofit.
we don't
Shaw
have-
has
We don't have enough information.
yeah.
Like, we're just kind of taking a shot in the dark.
What more information do I need at this point?
Well, it's like, what the fuck is her problem?
Sure.
Like, that's probably a big one. You know what I mean? Like, what is her problem? Like, yeah, like, so it's like, I just need to clarify. So she's talking about getting more views from the organization. She's talking about growing liquidity. It's like, okay, well, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by growing liquidity? Does that mean you don't quite have the liquidity like in the business right now? How so? And again, I don't want to assume, but what impact is it actually having on the business, not having the views, not having the liquidity? And then what's that doing to you though? Then like I need all that. I need all that before I get to the nitty gritty. And again, you could also like, okay, well, it's like how much are you actually making in the business right now versus like if you had a better way to systematize it, like how much do you feel like you'd be leaving on the table because we don't have that. It's like they're leaving money on the table because she doesn't have the system, blah, blah, blah. Like again, we can turn that story into numbers. We don't even have to do that. But it's like I at least need something like concrete. I need something to sink my teeth into. Right now, like we're just kind of taking a shot in the dark.
Yeah, that's why this didn't land super well. That's why I even added like instinctually, can I ask you a personal question? Because I was like, I have no symptoms. Let me just go for it.
Yeah, it's like okay, so she's wanting to learn the skill, but it's like she's wanting to make more money, but it's like why? What in life is telling her she doesn't have the money that she needs?
The liquidity that she needs.
So, and again, if you ever get lost, right? Because it sounds like right now we're just a little bit lost, and it's fine. Okay, it's like okay, well, I guess I'm just a little bit confused on my end. I guess what's the main reason you might be looking for? I guess like a different way of bringing income in rather than just doubling down with what you currently have. Just like why do this rather than doubling down with what you have? Well, just with what we have, problem. Like I feel like we just got a little bit too lost in the sauce and when it's like, I'm not gonna like, I need to have this person's problem before I can move on because it doesn't like, I'm just confused and I don't know where to take this conversation right now.
Yeah.
So just very first and foremost, just to simplify it in your mind, it's like, okay, what is this person's problem? And specifically for what you sell, what does the money, what does the time, what does that buy them that they can't do now? Or why would they even want that? What need isn't being met? That's always what I'm thinking. What need isn't being met right now that they want to be met?
Then what in life is telling them that need isn't being met?
Yeah. What in life is telling them that their needs aren't being met? Okay. And then once you find that and you find like a real root of it, then when you ask that, well, what's that doing to you though? Or how does that feel? Like, dude, they crumble.
Yeah. Because I asked her once or twice and she never answered. So that's
Yeah,
why.
because it's like we're not on the thing. Like we didn't actually get anything right now.
Mhm.
Like it's like basically we did a bit of crab walking, right? Like we kind of stayed like adjacent, like outside, but we need to dive in,
Yeah.
dig deeper, right? And again, if you ever get lost, it's like, hey, why? And again, I want to help you the best I can. I'm just really trying to understand like what's coming up for you that would even have you open to doing anything different than you're already doing, or why try to, I guess, like make money this way rather than just like doubling down on your nonprofit. Well, my nonprofit doesn't make any money. Ooh, let's talk about that, right? It's like now you got a problem.
If it's like my nonprofit doesn't make any money, like where do you go from there?
It's like, well, what do you mean like it doesn't make any money?
Well,
So
it's a nonprofit. So
yeah, it's a nonprofit. So it's like you guys have like no money coming in, or like what's actually going on when you say it doesn't make money? Like how I'll be curious because like again, I don't want to assume too much on my end, but if you have no money coming in, like how are you getting by right now?
just like her current 9 to 5, I'm doing social work.
Right. Because it's like she said, like, oh, well, she was doing the nonprofit full time. Like, you see how like it just got like you're confused and you're just like, oh, I'm confused. I guess I'm just gonna move on.
Yeah.
It's like, no, if I'm confused, like I don't move on. Like I'll just be like, well, I feel like you're all the way over there on like page 15. I'm back here on page 3, right? Like, help me understand. Are you doing a 95 like right now, or just you're not doing it? Like you just be super clear and don't move forward until you have a clear picture.
Yeah.
Right? Because like without a clear picture, again, with somebody who is like just scattered in their thinking, especially if I don't get a clear picture and give them direction and help focus their thinking, the likelihood that they're going to have enough conviction at the end of the call is very low. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you want to take a look at the objection handling then?
Yeah. Let's go for that.
Okay, hell yeah,
Or
dude. Do
actually,
you
wait,
know
can we
like
skip to solution awareness? Or else maybe solution awareness didn't land because the problem was not on point.
yeah, if you don't have the problem down, but like
let's take.
let's see. Do you know what timestamp or no?
No, this is 3 calls combined, so it's like a 200-minute
Hell yeah.
fathom recording.
Okay, like we're kind of just going in circles. And again, like she's open. Like that's the thing too. Like she's open, so it's not like she's going to be resistant to.
She should have bought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, then you got her goal. Yeah, income. Well, you live in the U.S., right? I'm Toronto, Canada. You're in Canada. Yeah, we're in the Arctic over here.
I guess like what have you actually been up to in order to actually accomplish that for yourself?
What I can, sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, like in the past year that you
Yeah,
really wanted to free up your time.
yeah.
What have you been trying to do in terms of like just businesses or just taking action on that goal? Like what have you done to take action on that goal?
Okay, so make sure I understand what
I would be a little bit more specific with this question. Okay, like before like we started talking today, have you been out there looking for more hands-on help to actually get to XYZ outcome in your own business, or what have you been doing with that? The reason being, so it's like I can skip a lot of bullshit as far as like, oh, well, I mean, I look on YouTube, blah, 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 blah. It's like, no. Okay.
Okay.
Specific questions to get specific answers.
I will do or what I've done.
What have you done in the past year to
Okay,
free
in
up
the
your
past.
time? Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't like dedicate myself in like trying to find a way to have more time to be 100% honest. I was
Yeah.
just hating my
I can
job
appreciate the
right now.
honesty. Okay.
I'm sorry?
I said I can appreciate the honesty, right?
Yeah, well, I was just like 100% in my current job, and so I didn't put much time, but I feel like since maybe Christmas, I started like to make time and to work a little bit less so I can like get to learn it. I feel like there is like this kind of year, like 2025, it's more like a great year to start this kind of
You see how she's so up in the sky, dude? That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to bring these people to reality. That just a side note, but it's like, okay,
Yeah.
so that's why if you have a more specific question, you're gonna get a more specific answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like you got like the why not, like oh, like I didn't have time, but since Christmas I've been making the time. Okay, so but what's prevented you in the past? What 5 months in? It's May. Like what's prevented you in the past 5 months? Like knowing we needed to make the time of getting hands-on help so you can actually get this business up and going and actually get your time back.
Why do you attack the 5 months instead of the full year?
Just because it's probably gonna be easier.
Oh,
Okay. Because it's like if I attack the full year, then she's going to be like, oh, well, it was the time, but that's no longer a thing.
Yeah.
Like I can fall into that. I just want to sideswipe it. And it's just going to be easier to attack the 5 months. Because she said, I had this limitation. Now, for the past 5 months, I haven't had this limitation. Fantastic.
Yeah.
What limitation did you have? Throw it at me. Right? Let's talk about your limitations. Like that's really what I'm inviting. So if she's like, oh, but for the past 5 months, I've been making the time. Okay, so I mean, if you've been making the time, what's preventing the past 5 months of getting actual hands-on help so you could get a business up and going and actually get more of your time back? Limitation, belief, or excuse. I'll take any. Let's have a chat.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what you need to get to. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like business online and everything. I feel like this is like that.
Right.
So that's why I started.
Yeah.
now.
And for you, right, when it comes to making time, like that's a very funny thing, right? Because what shifted like last December where you're like, okay, now I need to really start making the time to start doing this? Like what shifted?
Good
It was
question.
more about like my job being done here. That
Oh, okay. The
tried-
contract expiring?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So like to me, it's really important when I like
Yeah.
give a promise or dedicate myself to something I'm
Yeah.
doing. So I've done it, and now like I have
Yeah.
more time. Yeah.
Okay. Now that makes sense. Because just ultimately, if I can make a suggestion.
Like we
Yeah.
don't have the real thing. You
What's
see
the
that?
thing here?
Well, it's like we don't have the real limitation.
Oh, that's held her back in the 5 months? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like she's like, oh, well, it's like back then I didn't have time. Now I do have time, but I still haven't done anything for 5 months. Like now, like it makes more sense to be like, okay, well, what's preventing you in the past 5 months, though? Like, what do you think she might have said to that?
I've been trying to decide which avenue I want to go with my business because I have a bunch of different passions. I can either, promote my traveling idea, I can,
Okay.
do something more with the holistic healthcare that I can promote through digital arbitrage.
Okay.
I can
Yeah.
create my own
So it sounds like
product.
we
I
just
don't
have
know.
a lot of different ways that you can go. Again, she's scattered, right? So it sounds like we have a lot of different ways we can go. It sounds like we just want like clarity and like what the best direction is, right?
Yeah.
Can I share perspective on that?
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to clarity, you never know what the weather is going to be at the beach tomorrow until you actually get there. You know what I'm saying? So, of all these different options we do have and different directions we could go, how are we going to know if any of them are going to be the best fit and the best direction for us? Like, how are we actually going to know?
You only know when you try.
Right. So, what's preventing us this past 5 months, knowing that the only way we're going to know is try, of like actually picking a direction, just trying?
I don't know. I was just trying to like decide. So
Yeah. Well, what's prevented us from being able to decide?
I don't know. It's just like lack of direction. I don't know.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
lack
and I can
of mentorship.
yeah, right. Well, we're talking about like the lack of direction and lack of mentorship. So what's prevented us from getting the mentorship though, right? If we know the only way we're gonna actually know if it works for us if we try, what's preventing us from like trying getting the mentorship and at least taking at least one step in any direction?
Yeah, typically from there it's like either you'll like externalize it or it'll be like self-doubt. Like they'll just give you the belief right there. So yeah.
Yeah, belief right there. It's like, oh, like what do you mean by that? Can I share a perspective? And then it's like they're cooked at that point. Like you got the
Yeah.
self-doubt, you got the belief, and it's just about like side swiping all the bullshit until you get to the real heart of the issue, you get to the belief, and then from there, like they're cooked. Like
Yeah.
what could she get? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like that's the real heart of it.
Mhm.
The real heart of it is she can't make a decision. That's the belief we need to get to. Now, we probably knew that from the very get-go from the way that she was speaking. But now, like, okay, that's probably what she's going to tell you if you asked her, like, over the past 5 months, like, what's been holding her back. And then when we get to the end, it's a lot simpler because she's already told you it's like, oh, well, it's like, what do you need to let go of? Well, I need to let go of like my indecisiveness. So then if she gets to the end and she goes, well, I'm so indecisive, like, motherfucker, that's why you're here. You know what I mean? You don't say, you know what I mean? Like,
That's
then
literally
it's
yeah, that's
it's
what happened in
such
our
a
call.
more straightforward conversation.
No, that makes sense. Because for leads like this, even if you get the belief, do you still go into identity if they don't understand English fully well and you just feel like it's not gonna land?
I would still go into identity. You might just need to simplify it. But it's like even with this, like you don't even need to go into like identity. Like honestly, like I've sold millions of dollars in deals, like not even talking about people's identities. Like, yes, it does take it up to the next level, but it's like for this one, if I just got her to admit the reason she is where she is right now is because she doesn't actually have or she hasn't taken a step in any direction, right? That's where she's at. Okay. Can you see how us just not taking a step in any direction has just led us to being stuck where we're at right now for the past 5 months? Are you okay with me saying that? So I do have to ask you, what do you feel like that's cost us these past 5 months? If we had to put a cost to it, to like, oh, well, I don't know. Well, it's like, okay, well, do you mind if we do the math? Shit,
Yeah.
I don't know where the fuck my phone is.
Calculate it out.
Do you mind if we do the math? Okay, so it's like, especially, it sounds like we got two costs. Okay, one we have time, and the other we have like money. Okay, because like, how much time right now are you spending in that job, like each and every week?
50 hours.
Okay, so like 50 hours, and so it's like been for the past 5 months.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 200 hours a month. Okay, times 5. Ooh, wow. So we spent like 10,000 hours, or no, 1,000 hours. Quick maths.
Who knows?
So it's like I would do it on the calculator and show them.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like it is 1,000. I can't do math. I did not get into sales because I can do math. But it's like, okay, so we spent 1,000 hours on the past 5 months, like really like not walking towards our goals. Does that number sound right? And they'll be like, yeah, that does sound right. Oof, yeah. And then when we talk about money, again, if like right now we're making this and we feel like we could be making this if we just had the right skills. So we're leaving like, let's say 5,000 on the table each month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if we left 5,000 on the table each month, then like over the past 5 months, we left $25,000 on the table just because again, like we haven't taken a step in a direction.
Tough shit. Okay.
So I have to ask,
That makes
given
sense.
that it's cost us 1,000 hours and $25,000, is this belief of not taking a step in any direction or over analyzing, is it worth keeping moving forward if we actually want to make a move on this? Well, no, why isn't it? But what if you keep on paying life, your time, and paying life, your money for the rest of your life?
Mm-hmm.
Like she's paying life this stuff right now.
Yeah.
Because she can't pick a direction. That's where we need to get her to.
Okay. Because that's exactly what came up at the end of the call. So
Yeah.
let's go to objection handling.
Okay. What's the price?
12K.
Do you just say like 12K?
I say 12,000.
12. See if I can't type in 12. It doesn't pop up.
My biggest concern for you.
What was that?
You might just have to spell it out if that's how Fathom picks it up.
12. Nothing, bro. Let's just say investment. Okay, so just understand, like the longer a call goes, like the likelihood that we're gonna get to think about an objection increases, especially with somebody like this.
Yeah.
So it's like, just keep that in mind. Now, I'm not saying like, hey, now skip steps, but it's like, you just need to make sure you keep these people on point. That's the biggest thing. Like, keep them on point. Bruv.
Okay. So in terms of next steps, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and process your investment. While we go through that, I'm gonna go grab some like energy pills because I'm yawning. So I'm still listening though.
Okay. I'll wait for you. Just go grab it real quick.
Okay, sweet. Give me like 30 seconds. Like, where do you feel like you fall on that scale exactly?
Yeah, it's the 1 to 10 question.
Right now I feel like this is a great 9.5.
Okay. Why do you say 9?
What?
Why do you say 9?
I just feel like I'm waiting for the price. Like I feel like this.
And we can definitely get to that, right? But
yeah, this is a great offer.
If it doesn't even make sense, if you don't even feel like logistically this would help you. Okay, so I just want to make sure. Okay.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Okay, 100%. Yeah. Right. So before we talk about next step, tuition, things like that, do you have any other questions?
I would just get her to expand. Like she didn't really expand. She goes 9.5. So do you feel like this would help you? Like you did a good job, like, sideswiping that. Then it's like, okay, why do you feel like it really would be the answer for you? Or why do you feel like, this is like a great offer? Just at least get her to expand on like why it's good for her before you go into price. Just a little side thing.
Questions about the mentorship specifically?
No.
Okay. So in terms of next steps, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and process your investment with me. We'll email you the receipt, and then I'll book you in for a one-on-one onboarding. On that one-on-one call, your coach, who's assigned to you.
I don't like the email the receipt thing.
It's in the script. I gotta say it. We have all
you have to say it. I don't know why, but it rubs me the wrong way. Like it makes it feel more like a transaction. Just again, it hits my ears wrong. Now, does it? Like again, I'm so particular around like how I talk about the investment, okay? Because it makes a big difference. But just little things like that.
is going to help you optimize your website funnel, set up your social profiles,
Mhm.
and then start our 7-day launch strategy. So
Mhm.
we can get this entire system up and running in the next few days. Sound good?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. In terms of the investment required for our mentorship, we'll show you everything A to Z on how to actually start and scale your digital product business. You can get your time back and start making 10K a month. And the investment for that is going to be a one-time investment of $12,000 for the 12 months for the mentorship.
12,000, you said?
Yeah, there's a couple different ways we can break that up. Okay, it's just going to depend on what works best for you.
Mhm.
Next steps from here is we just arrange that, typically debit or credit, whatever works best,
Mhm.
and then get you on that onboarding. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
Would that work, or how'd you proceed?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, like would that work for you, or like how'd you like to proceed?
Right now? Well, can I sleep on it?
Yeah, no worries, right?
Yeah. Like maybe
Yeah.
I'm gonna sleep on it just to
Uh-huh.
revisit everything. This is a big amount, so
Yeah,
I
no, like
really believe
I've
in the
been there.
program.
Okay, what's her objection?
Yeah, money, money,
Yeah, money. What?
money fear.
I assume.
Yeah.
Right? Just from her language, this is a big amount. Okay.
Mhm.
So immediately, like, where does my mind go? It's like, first and foremost, like, I'm gonna be real, you look a little tired. Okay. So it's like when I get the objection, like just take a breath, like take a sip of water, and it's like allow them to kind of like flail a little bit, like gather your energy because you just got done talking for a good amount of time. This call is going longer. So it's like, okay, I need to make sure, like for the next 30 minutes, like I'm good to go, ready to tackle this call. Okay. Okay, because at the end of like an hour call, it's like it's reasonable that your energy is gonna drop a little bit, especially if you just started, you presented for like 10 fucking minutes. Okay, like you're just talking nonstop.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, slow myself down. That's gonna help her slow it down. Okay, so she says she needs to sleep on it. It's a big amount. Okay, money, fear. That's where my mind goes immediately. There might be some logistical stuff that's coming up that she just doesn't have it. I don't know, but that's where my mind goes immediately. Okay. So first thing I'm gonna say, it's like, hey, I can appreciate where you're coming from. When you say it's a big amount, I guess like compared to what though, right? Compared to you actually getting to the 10,000 per month, or what do you think? Well, no, it's not a big amount compared to that. It's like, okay, so then if you just put money aside though for a second, like, would you do it? And we're off to the races. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
No, I get
really
it. Can I ask, like, when you say it's a big amount, like, is it the total like 12K that feels a bit out of reach, or is there something else about your financial situation that's making you a bit hesitant?
No, it's more about like the 12K. I feel like, this is a lot. I feel like
Yeah. No, I
I
get it. Like
hit my
I've been there.
goal, that
Yeah. Like I get it. Like I've been there.
fine, but it's
Right?
not about
So
the financial
yeah.
part. Like if I
She's like, oh, it's not the financial. So it's like, it's more like the mentality around the money. So anytime anybody says a lot, I'm like, okay, well, compared to what? Or it's expensive compared to what? They're comparing it to something. But what I want them to start comparing it to is their goals. So is it
Results-based
a
thinking.
lot compared to your goals? Right, exactly. Right. So it's like, you know where you should be going. So it's just like,
Yeah.
how do I get that shift there? That's what I need.
Yeah.
if I'm going to go forward with it, I'm gonna pay it all. It's more
Yeah.
about like, investment.
No, I get it. Right. So aside from you not having the 12K, like, is there anything else that could be potentially holding you back from
She
moving
didn't say she
forward?
didn't have it.
Yeah, it's in the fucking script, and I read off the script for the money objection.
Do you have
thing,
this?
'cause
Do you have the script up?
for money for them? Yeah, because I haven't memorized the flow.
Okay, just first of all,
They don't
memorize the
mention it.
fro. So it's like that way, like, because like when you have a script up, like again, you miss out on certain things, especially when we're talking about objection handling. Like you got to listen to the language to understand exactly where you need to go. And if you
Yeah.
don't, it's like, because how long did you objection handle this person?
An hour.
Right? It's like, if you don't listen, then we're going in circles or we miss key things that could literally cut the time it would take to actually handle this person's objection by like 90%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's like you gotta
Yeah.
just be very keen and listen to what's going on.
No, I feel like
Okay. You don't sound too sure.
no,
Good.
I feel like I just need to
Okay.
really like think about the amount invested and like
Yeah.
really believe
No, I
it.
get it. And are
Um,
you confident that like the mentorship itself, like, do you believe that that would actually get you to the goal of 10K a month in the next 6 months?
I mean, I really want to believe it. I feel like this is
Okay.
really
But do you actually believe it though? Because it doesn't even make sense to talk about the investment if you don't feel like it would work for you.
no, I feel like it it could work for me for sure.
Okay.
I
Why do you
just
feel like
like
it could
I've never done it, so like
Yeah, no, I
gigs
get it.
and everything, I feel
I
like
get it. Like, why do you feel
yeah,
like it would work for
Fear.
you? Yeah,
Like it's plain and simple.
you.
it will work. Well, because it's really
Mhm.
like I see like every steps of the way. Like there's gonna be
Yeah.
a person.
She said it could, but I've never done it before, right? Like that's
Yeah.
just like that's straight up
Yeah, no.
just fear.
Yeah.
And she already mentioned she had it.
She did?
Yeah, she said she'd paid all up front. That's what I heard.
Interesting.
Now again, if you're like you can clarify, but that's what I heard. Like she said, like I
Yeah.
paid all up front.
Okay.
So, but if you can see from this, like she's not asking about how you can break it down or different things like that. She's not directing her language
Yeah, it's
about
just
like,
fear.
hey, how do we make it work? She's
Mhm.
caught up in the amount total. She's not thinking, how can I break this down? She's like, I don't know about that amount. I don't
Yeah.
know about that amount is a belief. I need to
Yeah.
break it down as logistical. So there's
Yeah.
two totally different conversations we need to have. Right now, I don't know about that amount is fear, and I need to address it.
Mhm.
And like how I do it, like from the get-go, I'm like, okay, well, I mean, if we worked for thousands of people in the past, is there any particular reason why you feel like it wouldn't work for you? Now, I assume what she's gonna say, like, no, there's no reason. I've just never done it before. It's like, hey, and I can totally get where you're coming from, because I don't want to say it's scary, but it's kind of scary in a way. Like you've really taken that leap and just diving in, right?
Yeah. This is after, like, I'd have to do this after the open wallet test, which is what I did. Because
Okay.
that's how they have us do it. So
Yeah, they have to do open wallet test. Okay,
The
cool.
person
That's
to say
awesome.
you do that or you not do
you
that.
put on 1.5 because
Maybe
we
you
got a
should do
lot
it
more
that
objection
way.
handling to go.
So I feel like
We
this
got
Hell
this
yeah,
is the
yeah,
perfect
yeah.
way of doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it sounds like the only thing that's holding you back is figuring out logistically how to make the financial investment work. Is that right?
Yeah, well, it's a great move. It's a big move. Yeah. Yeah.
So like, let's just say like hypothetically, we could actually figure out a way to make this work for you financially without putting you in a tough spot, something that would actually work for you. Is that something 100% you want to move forward with today?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. So here, like we can definitely figure that out, right?
You can what?
Because I'll definitely walk through that. Okay. We don't have any set payment plans or payment options. We just customize something that actually works best for you. Okay.
Okay. How
So
is that work?
Yeah, I'll walk through that. So would it be okay if I just asked you a few questions, just so we can find a creative way to make this more manageable for you financially, without
Okay.
putting you in a bad spot?
Okay.
Okay. So right now it's gonna feel like I'm interrogating you a little bit. Okay, I'm just gonna preface that. Right now, I'm not really asking what you can spend. I'm more just trying to understand your situation just to see how we can best help. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. As far as your checkings account or any other account, what do you actually have available?
Oh my God. In all my accounts?
As far as let's just say checkings, like what do you actually have?
In my chicken, I would say right now I have 15K right now.
Okay.
Told you she had it.
Okay. And as far as like savings, like what do you have available?
I would say I have maybe another in my savings 5K, and I have like some investments for housing.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. Right. So then as far as like stocks, crypto, like anything like that, or?
No. No,
Okay.
I had investment.
Yeah. And how much like roughly are you able to save each and every week consistently?
To save?
Yeah.
I would say you give me like 2 seconds.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would say this is great that you're in Canadian dollars. This is like
Yeah.
So I would say maybe 2,000 per month.
Okay. So we can save 2K per month.
Yeah.
And as far as your credit score, do you know ballpark what your credit might be at?
My credit score?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can give you that. So we're doing mathematics right now with my.
Yeah. We're gonna help you figure this out. Okay.
Yeah, this is
okay.
Okay. I'm gonna give you the really right number if that could help. Okay. Well, I have a great one, but do you need the number like exactly? I'm just checking
just
out
the
my
ballpark. Yeah, ballpark is
fine. I think it's around 750. Well, let me check. Okay, I just don't want.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm in it right now.
It's okay. Go ahead.
And it's really easy to have, so like 2 seconds that would be fine.
Yeah.
So there's no logistical money reason why she can't do this.
Exactly.
Right. So
financially qualified.
And that's why I'm saying like, okay, like I can kind of see the shortcuts just from like doing this so long and listen to language. So if you need to go through this, it's like fantastic. But it's like once you understand that, she's like, I got 15K in my checkings. I got another 5K in savings. So she's got 20K liquid right now. And then she has a 750 credit score, right?
Yeah.
So now it's just like, now I need just to get her over the edge.
Okay, so it's 775.
Okay, 775.
Even better.
Do you have any existing credit cards?
Yeah, but they are not. They are already paid.
Okay, so the limit is already hit.
No, they are paid. Like they paid automatically. Is it your question? Yeah, I have a credit card.
Okay, like what are the available limits on them?
Oh, the limits.
Yeah.
I would say I think it's around like 5K.
Okay, 5K limit. Let me see what I can do for you. Okay, let me pull this. Have you ever heard of Stripe or a firm? Okay, what a firm is so is that something you'd be open to? They can break up the initial investment of $12,000 into across 36 months. Okay, 6 to 24 months. That's typically what we see.
So they just like take longer to give the money. You know that like
So-
he paid you, and I give the money to them like on the longer months.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no, as soon as you start.
So what most of our clients will do is they'll actually just pay it off early once they get the right skills in place. Does that make sense? So you're not inferring like you but the thing is, as far as like compliance, you already are talking about them like, you know, making 10K. You're already kind of inferring that just in
Yeah,
the
I got
script and what
QC'd
they
by like, yeah, I get QC'd all the time. They always fuck me up.
So, because if you're gonna be like 100% compliant, very high level, anything like you can't even mention like income at all.
Exactly. That's what they want me to do. I mentioned all my pitches, and they QC'd me on all my pitches.
Yeah. So it's like you can talk about the money that they're losing right now without having the right skills and what the right skills, what that would do for them personally. You can talk about skills, right? So then like you move more to the emotion of like you having the right skills. What difference does that actually make in your life? Well, I have more freedom, more time, more different things like that. And anytime they bring up money, well, you go, okay, yeah, and I can definitely appreciate like we're looking to make more money, but ultimately money is a result of skill set. Like, wouldn't you agree? So for you, what's the biggest thing as far as like skill set you feel like you need? And so you always shift it to skill set. And you can talk about, well, you not having that skill set right now. How much money do you feel like we're missing just with what we're currently doing? You can talk about money they're missing, like they're losing right now. You can't talk about money like they might make. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
distinct difference. And you can always go back into like the way you do it as far as like just be like, especially if they're really like harping on compliance, is you always invert it. So it's like, the investment required to get you to the point where you're not actually losing that 10,000 per month we're losing right now because we don't have the right skills
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
to stop you losing the 10,000 per
Yeah.
month, right? You can invert it. There's different ways to do that. So it's just, but you can focus on what they're losing and then you just always turn it to skills. And then from skills, you get it to the emotion of what they get once they have the skills.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And if you do it right and like you really get to a limiting belief, you tie them up on identity. It's like, honestly, bro, you don't even need to talk about money. Because like at the end of the day, what are you selling this person?
Change.
Yes. But what changed specifically?
Significance.
Well, it's like you're getting rid of a feeling that they don't want to feel anymore. So it's like you're getting rid of a feeling. This is the way that I always think about it. Okay. Like I'm selling you sales training, let's say, for example. Okay. Like, and I'm taking you through, I'm understanding the process. It's like, hey, man, like, let's just say, like, you know, your issues are the issues they are. Okay. It's like, I'm having a hard time getting people's problems, connecting with them, and overcoming objections. Okay. And when you get a prospect where you know you should get them across the line and then you don't because you don't have the right skills, like how does that feel? That feeling, that's what I'm selling you to get rid of. Does it make sense? Right. So it's like, and I would tie all of that in. Okay. Little things you can do, especially when you like if you can't talk about money.
Start seeing results with this. As soon as you start, recouping your investment, there's no prepayment penalty. So if you pay it off early, no penalty for that.
Okay, but ultimately, like I'm gonna be like all the 12,000 is gonna be like on the longer term, right?
Exactly. So we'll break it up across 24 months. Okay, is that something that would work for you, like within your budgetary constraints?
Yeah, that would be fine. That would be fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna send this into the chat, and I'm gonna have you fill that out. Okay, the application. Is that okay?
Yeah. To go into the program and everything, can I still take some time to think?
Yeah. Just fill this out really quickly, just to see if it's even an option for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we just go through logistics.
Yeah. Search for the word scary because that's when we start in the fun part.
Okay.
And we got 8 minutes.
It's good that you're like, oh, like just go ahead, like, you know.
So it's almost 1,000 every month during 6 months. After that, like 520 every month during 12 months, and I have like 300 every month during 24 months.
Yeah. Okay. So they got different options. Okay. This is what I'll typically do. Well, can I share with you what most of our clients will do? Oh yeah, sure. Because again, I just want to lower friction as much as possible when I'm talking about like the financing options. What most of our clients will do is they'll just pick the lowest monthly option. So that way, while they're learning the skill set to actually increase like what they're able to make, okay, they're not having to worry about finances. Okay. But then what you'll do once you increase your skill set is then you're just going to take bigger chunks at it. So you're going to pay it off early. Does that make sense? Oh, no, that makes sense. Okay. So would that 300 per month, like would that work for you?
Yeah. I'd say go ahead, pick the lowest one. That'll be able to, that's just so you don't have to put as much upfront.
And see, like, it's not bad. Like, you're still like saying, hey, pick the lowest one, but like, how do we frame it in the best possible way? Can I share with you what like all of our other clients do? What they'll do is pick the lowest one. So that way, again, when they're finding the skills to then increase their income, they're not worrying about the money. And then they're just going to pay that off early. So it's like, again, you don't have to pay it, over time that much. Does it make sense?
What do you want me to do?
So as soon as you check out with that, we'll be able to set you up with the onboarding right now.
Yeah. Can I have the night to think about?
And it's like, you could tell, like, as you're going through it, she still wasn't sold.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah, no worries. All right, just so I can send you over some info between now and then. I guess, like, what are you looking to, like, go over in your head, just so I can best help?
No, I mean, I feel like it's just like me just thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. We can get it. Right, like, I don't, like, taking that step, right, like, investing. Like, I don't want to say, like, it's scary, but it's a little bit scary, like, in a way, you know what I mean? Like, taking that step, like, taking that leap, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, it's, I know like how it's work about like how you make money after that and everything, and now it's just like a big investment, I know that you can.
No, I get it. Right, like, it gets scary, right? Like, I get what you're feeling. Like, I've been there myself.
Yeah.
What you're feeling right now, it's exactly what you're supposed to feel.
Because this 1 hour of
Who do you know
objection
that goes inside the
handling,
comfort
is this entire 1 hour of objection handling just a symptom of like an hour-long discovery? Or no, like a
Well, it's like
discovery?
part of it. Like, the discovery going so long is going to create just more uncertainty in her mind. Like, the longer discussion goes along, like, she's less centered. Part of the problem is, like, if we weren't really able to get to like the real root of the problem and get to see like that she needs to take action, we didn't get enough leverage, we didn't get all of that, then it's like that's also going to be a contributing factor. The fact that there's been 5 months and she hasn't taken action on anything, even though she said now she has been making the time, that's a contributing factor. But even at this point, it's like at this point, like, she's on the edge, like, she should still, like, we should still be able to get her over. But like, the biggest thing we need right now is we need her why.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like, okay, I know they're telling you to handle money in a very particular way where you don't bring up their why or why they would do it or anything like that. We go into any objection handling. It's like, okay, no, I totally get, like, you need a night. If you just take the night aside though for a second, like, is it something you actually want to do just to make sure we're on the same page? Yes. Why? Why actually invest in yourself?
So even after you tie off money, if you're going into fear, you still need their why.
You need the what? Because you did, like, okay, so the reason why I'll typically teach, like, you don't do that right before you go into fear, it's because you got it in the money. But they're telling you, hey, don't get it in the money, just like start going like logistical lane, which again, like, I don't like, but it's not the point. So the point is, you don't have her why. So it's like, what leverage do you have right now?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to assume, and I could be wrong, but all of our frames are going to be generic as fuck.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, most of them.
We don't,
yeah, all of them.
Yeah, because like we don't have like what's going to speak to her.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, like having the generic frames down, like it's good that like at least know where to take the conversation. And for some people, like just the generic frames will work. But it's like you have the information to not be generic. So the reason why, like, I'll say the exact same frame and it'll land is because I elongate certain parts, I shorten other parts, I highlight other parts that speak to this person directly.
Yeah.
Right? Like if I took that exact same frame and I had it on another conversation, it wouldn't make sense. So the problem is if you're using frames that make sense in any conversation, it likely is just too generic. You're not actually, like, if you could speak to everyone doing that, you're speaking to nobody.
Yeah.
Right? So like that's the big thing right now. So it's like just making sure you get her why. Okay. Let's listen to a little bit more. Do you have to jump at the top of the hour?
Yeah, I recall.
Okay, let's listen.
You're right.
I'm asking. I'm not looking to be right? I'm just asking.
No, you're right. I feel like this is the thing to do to get out of the comfort zone. This is an expensive comfort zone, but
because that feeling that you're feeling right now when it comes to getting.
But like, why do you feel like you should really get out of your comfort zone though? Like, you still need that why. But
that feeling that you're feeling now.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you're supposed to feel. It means that you're growing. Because if you were sitting right here, right now on Zoom, you're cool as a cucumber, stone cold, face, like have to check your pulse. You know what I mean? Like it's normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that feeling that you're feeling right now, it's not gonna go away. I'll tell you right now, someone who spent over 6 figures on coaching, that feeling never goes away.
Okay.
All we get to do is decide how we use it. Because we have 2 options. Number 1 is we allow it to constrict us, so that we don't get to the point where we're making 10K a month and we can make the impact we need to have and retire our parents, and things get worse. That's the first option. Or number 2, the second option, is that we shape it.
Well, I do in a good way or do in a bad way?
Taking massive action.
Bad way.
Because now we put some skin
What
in
does
the
she
game.
say?
Now this has to work. Which one would you rather do? You're
Let it
good at
constrict you
that.
or shape you into taking massive action.
You're good at that.
She
You
feels
see
it
what I
that
mean?
way.
Yeah. So it's like,
It's
and
'cause
again, I
don't
know
have a why.
you don't
Fuck.
have her why, and it's like it's just
Yeah.
like it's super generic, right? Like,
Mhm.
oh, you're good at that. Fuck. Right? So it's like you hear that, then it's like, oh, I feel like he's doing something to me.
Damn, that why is
Like
important.
our intent is off. So it's like, dude, it all comes down to because like again, you have two things in objection handling. What their objection is and their why. If you don't have this other equation, then it's like we don't have leverage to help them overcome that.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay.
All right. It's the biggest thing
Okay.
in objection handling. No matter what, get their why. I
Get
don't
the
care
fucking why.
what they tell you to do differently. Okay.
Yeah.
Even if they lambast you for getting their why, I'm telling you, you'll actually start fucking closing people in objection handling.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Whew.
But crush the
bro.
call, dude. Fucking hopefully this
Appreciate
is
it.
helpful. I'll send you their coordinates as soon as it processes.
Appreciate it,
All
man.
right.
Take care.
See you, bro. Bye.
Hopefully you found that valuable. Now, if you want to see me actually on a real life sales call, you can check this video out here. But if not, like, subscribe, leave your biggest takeaway in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.